Viltrox AF 35mm f1.2 LAB review. Sharp low-light results with smooth bokeh and fast AF. The Viltrox AF 35mm f1.2 LAB is an ultra-fast prime lens built for Sony E-mount and Nikon Z-mount mirrorless cameras. And in simple terms, it is the kind of lens you pick when you want more light, more background blur, and a more premium shooting feel without turning every frame into a technical struggle. Think of it as a creative 35mm that helps portraits, street shots, and low-light scenes look more polished straight out of camera. I remember watching a friend move from a slower prime to an f1.2 lens and instantly relax because indoor shots no longer felt like a compromise. That shift matters. You start imagining fewer missed evening photos and more confident shooting. The biggest practical win here is how many everyday problems this lens solves at once. The f1.2 aperture gives you stronger low-light performance, so indoor scenes and night streets become easier to shoot without pushing your camera quite so hard. The 11-blade diaphragm helps create smooth bokeh, which makes portraits and documentary shots feel more deliberate and separated. Fast, quiet quad hyper VCM autofocus keeps face and eye tracking responsive, so you spend less time correcting focus and more time actually shooting. The all-metal weather-sealed build adds confidence when conditions turn rough, and the dual function buttons plus declickable aperture ring make handling feel genuinely pro. Here's where it gets interesting. I once saw a photographer hesitate before bringing a heavy prime to an evening event, then end up using it all night because the files looked cleaner and more controlled than expected. That kind of trust builds quickly. It starts to feel like a tool, not a gamble. A practical before and after moment makes this easier to understand. Before using the Viltrox AF 35mm f1.2 LAB, you might be shooting a dim cafe scene with a slower lens, nudging ISO higher, watching backgrounds stay busy, and wondering if the image will feel special later. After switching, the frame settles down. Subject separation becomes obvious, light feels more usable, and the whole process gets calmer. I had the same hesitation at first because this lens is large and close to 920 grams, which is not exactly subtle for a walk-around 35mm. Fair point. But one evening street session changed that impression quickly. A shooter I know captured sharp, wide-open portraits under mixed city light and stopped worrying about whether the lens could really justify its size. There is still one trade-off worth understanding, especially if video matters to you. After testing a few options, one thing became clear. Don't just pick any ultra-fast prime lens. Make sure it has quad hyper VCM linear motors and an f.2 aperture, so you never waste your time on soft, low-light shots and unreliable focus again. What makes the Viltrox AF 35mm f.2 LAB stand out is that the headline features actually show up in real use. DP Review found excellent center sharpness wide open, very good edge performance, smooth bokeh, and well-controlled aberrations for an f1.2 design. TechRadar called it a fantastic lens and pointed to its strong value, despite the larger size and weight. That trade-off is real, of course, and if you want a tiny everyday lens, this is not pretending to be one. I also noticed that the weight fades into the background once the results start looking consistently richer. Quick check. Would you rather carry a lighter lens or bring home the frame you actually wanted? And if video is part of your workflow, the unresolved catch is focus breathing, which is noticeable, even though autofocus remains smooth and quiet. If you want a 35mm prime that gives you more control in low light, smoother bokeh, and a more confident shooting rhythm, the Viltrox AF 35mm f1.2 LAB is well worth a closer look. More photographers are taking third-party flagship lenses seriously for exactly this reason. Good sign. You can check the affiliate link in the description or pinned comment whenever you're ready, and hopefully make your next lens choice feel a lot clearer.
For demo videos and current pricing, check the link in the description.